Welcome back, Fantasy Daddy viewers. I'm James Bowe alongside Bowe Fertig, and today we are taking viewer questions. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and check us out on Twitter at KingJamesWho,
Bowe Fertig,
at Bowe Fertig. You want to send us a question? And Facebook,
yeah.
Really wherever. We're on all the social networks. Fantasy Daddy.
Right below.
Exactly. So here we go. We're going to get right into it. We got a viewer question from Jose Lopez from Stockton. His question is, if you have the top 5 picks, who do you go in order? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, I think it's a no-brainer to go ADP at 1, Arian Foster at 2, 3, 4, 5. It all depends on whether you're doing PPR standard leagues. A lot of people are going Marshawn Lynch. I stay away from Marshawn Lynch in my top 5. I almost go Ray Rice 3, Jamal Charles 4, and CJ Spiller 5. And all those guys would do well in PPR and standard leagues as well.
If I'm going standard leagues, I like Marshawn Lynch in the top 5. He's going to get a lot of touchdowns. I have to agree with you with Foster and ADP going 1, 2, ADP 1, him Foster 2. I like Jamal Charles too with Andy Reid being the coach there. You saw what happened with LaShawn McCoy over there.
Right.
Scored 20 touchdowns in a season. We know Jamal Charles, his skill set's a little bit better than LaShawn McCoy, so I'm looking forward to
Jamal
seeing
Charles
that.
still had almost 1,600 rushing yards. So, I mean, now in a better offense, he should do good.
Yeah, definitely. But I would say top 5, running back.
Right.
We're going RB all day long in the first round. Let's go with question number 2 from our buddy Jamar out in Long Beach.
What's up, Jamar?
I just found out that I have the last pick in the draft at 12. Who do I go back to back?
Well, we talked about running back high, and it's still first round, so you're still going running back, and especially with that last position, it's going to take you another full couple rounds to get back around. And because of that, you go running back, Matt Forte, Stephen Ridley. If LaShawn McCoy drops to you, that'd be a great steal at 12. You also have Chris Johnson, who I like as well. So you're definitely going top 2 running backs. Chris Johnson, Stephen Ridley, MJD, LaShawn McCoy if he drops. Any 4 of those running backs would be good choices.
I would have to agree with you. I also think if Trent Richardson drops that far, that would be a nice pickup.
I don't see why he does, but if he does.
I also, in that situation, I might go top quarterback, especially depending on your league scoring system.
That's
I
true.
like Aaron Rodgers. I like Drew Brees. I think I would either take those 2 if I had back-to-back picks. Maybe a MJD, then Aaron Rodgers if he's still there. We'll kind of see how that goes, though. Late rounds, 12th pick is always tough. Back-to-back picks, you got to think quickly. You got to be on your feet.
And a lot of it, too, for that last pick is gauging how the draft is going. It's very important, especially when you have that last pick, because you're kind of seeing everything pan out in front of you.
You never know when someone's going to throw that curveball and go Peyton Manning first pick.
That's very true as well.
Another one. We got Caitlin from Texas. If you go, actually, how high should I go for tight end? Caitlin from Texas.
We know Caitlin very well, and we know that she loves to fill the tight end position. And because of that, you'd almost have to go Jimmy Graham as your number 1 tight end if possible. 3rd round. I don't go Jimmy Graham 2nd round. I go maybe 25th and beyond. Maybe you stretch him into the 3rd round, but definitely Jimmy Graham in the 3rd round I go.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Graham was definitely the number 1 tight end there. I think after Jimmy Graham, Jason Witten, maybe in the 5th, 6th round, maybe.
Right.
That's Tony Romo's top target. He actually had more targets than Des Bryant last season. He had 150 targets. I look for Jason Witten to do the exact same thing. He's going to get a lot of looks over there in Dallas.
Right, and really the tight ends this year is Jimmy Graham, Jason Witten, and really you're waiting beyond that just because of the value around the Tony Gonzalez, the value around Vernon Davis. Gronkowski's uncertain of whether he's going to be healthy or not. So, yeah, Jimmy Graham would be a good pick in your 3rd round.
Even an 8, 9, 10 round, maybe an Antonio Gates.
Right.
So name a couple of other guys.
We have Antonio Gates, Jared Cook from St. Louis would be another good one.
Yeah.
There, Martellus Bennett, who's going to Chicago now, he could be another late round pickup as well.
All right, let's get on to the next one. Good old boy from Montana, Brian, asks, if you could go any position in the draft, what number would you go? Any position in the draft, meaning would you go in the top 3? Would you want to wait for the later 79? What are you thinking?
I know you're always a top guy. You always like to go top. But in this draft, especially because there's so much depth at the running back position, I like the middle of the round. I really like the middle of the round, especially in a 10-team league. If there is a 10-team league, if I have 5, I know there's a good possibility that I could go 3 top running backs and then fill my other positions down the road. So I like to see how the draft pans out. I'm not the guy that throws the curveball. I like to wait back, see what happens, maybe go the other way with it. Little baseball term. And because of that, I like the middle of the round. I think there's still good value, especially at the top rounds.
I'm going that number 1 pick. If I have an opportunity to do it, I'm taking Adrian Peterson. You saw what he did last season. The guy is the best player in the NFL, probably the best athlete in sports.
The waiting game is tough though too for me, if I do have that number 1 pick.
Yeah, definitely. Again, we're doing mail time if you just got in. If you fast forward through this video, mail time, getting viewers' questions. We're on to Roderick from Virginia. What round do you draft a quarterback?
You know what? If I have the 3rd pick, or if it's my 3rd pick in the 3rd round and Cam Newton is still there, I like Cam Newton. A lot of upside, especially in standard leagues where passing touchdowns are 4 points. That just means the value for rushing touchdowns is so much higher. Just getting those points, Cam Newton has shown he could rush for more than double-digit touchdowns. I also like RG3 in a couple rounds later than that too, just because of the ability, his running ability is that dual threat. And Michael Vick is there way down the road as well. Because of that, I like running quarterbacks this year. If the passing's not there, you always have the running to really lay back on. And Matthew Stafford, 7th round pick, 6th round pick, he throws the ball a lot. Last 2 years in the NFL, most passing attempts in NFL history. So Matthew Stafford's another guy to pick up late.
One of the biggest depths of quarterback here this season, like you mentioned, there's a lot of rushing quarterbacks, a lot of new quarterbacks, Russell Wilson, Colin Kaepernick. It's going to be really interesting, but again, I'm going to wait here for quarterbacks. I'm going to skip over the Brees, the Bradys, the Mannings, the Rodgers, just because there's a lot of value late. You got Eli Manning late, you got guys like Andy Dalton who's poised for a big year, hopefully. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the 7th, 8th, 9th round, filling my other positions. Running backs, receivers. I hold up on the quarterbacks.
One of the reasons I go Cam Newton and RG3, maybe stretch on those, because I know there is depth. So if those guys do get injured, I know I still have a Phillip Rivers or a Jay Cutler who are going to be throwing a lot this year.
Definitely. You always got to have a backup plan. Yeah. We got our last question here from our hometown, Travis from San Diego. He asked, funny that you just mentioned this. Do you take a chance on RG3 or Cam Newton this year?
Yeah, I definitely do. Like I said, the dual threat ability, it's promising. And especially with Cam Newton having a down year, I think he rebounds. We saw what ADP did with the ACL injury after, and he almost broke the rushing record, single season rushing record. I see RG3 having a good season this year as well.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. Like you said, and you mentioned the depth later on in the round. You can have that backup plan. You can go with the Eli Manning, go with the Phillip Rivers in a new system. Like we said earlier, it's the biggest rushing quarterbacks. There's going to be a lot of quarterbacks rushing for over 5 touchdowns this season. Right. We saw Andrew Luck even doing that, and he's more of a thrower, pocket passer. And I think that's going to do it for mail time. Yeah, definitely. And again, if you guys have any questions you guys want to send in, go ahead and hit us up on Twitter, at King James Who,
at Bowe Fertig,
or Facebook, or really anywhere else you can find us. That's going to be it, FantasyDaddy.com viewers. Thank you for viewing, and hope to see you soon.